see if I can find it. Yep, there it is. Huh. Yeah. Okay, we'll work through it. The what? Yeah, why don't we try that? Okay, Ms. Rivers, you ready to get on the record?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is position 6 on our inquiry and motions calendar, State versus McBurrows, 22 SC 182239. Ms. McBurrows is here in court. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Her lawyer, Mr. Booker, is online. You see him on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Great. We have Ms. Davis for the state. And Ms. McBurrows, you are here because I signed a probation warrant in your case. It's really not legible, but I'm going to get a copy of the petition, which is the companion document, and I'll be in a better position to say, here's why we're together. But it looks like you got arrested for some new charges while you were on probation, which is a problem. And we were originally going to have an evidentiary hearing where the prosecutor would call on witnesses who would testify, here's what happened, we caught Ms. McBurrows doing this or that. The state's burden of proof in a revocation hearing is pretty low. It's not like at trial. But Ms. Davis has been speaking with your lawyer, Mr. Booker, and it sounds like what we're going to do instead today is that we're going to just have a discussion about what the consequences should be for your violations of probation. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes?
Okay, great. And I don't have the petition yet. Here it is. So we're clear. It's alleged in the petition and in the warrant that a long time ago, December of 23, you had a shoplifting arrest in Clayton. And then a year later, December of 24, in Cobb County, you were arrested for false information and a little bit of marijuana. And just 4 days later, a shoplifting in Gwinnett, and another one in Gwinnett in June, and burglary in the second degree in DeKalb. That's a lot of stuff. Mr. Booker, is Ms. McBurrows stipulating to these arrests?
Yes, Your Honor, for purpose of this hearing, she's stipulating to the arrest.
Okay. Have any of these cases been resolved, or are they still just sitting out there?
Well, Judge, in the Gwinnett case, I'll just kind of go in order. In the Gwinnett case, the co-defendant has taken a plea and resolved it. And as I understand that he intends to or is going to exonerate her, he is actually in custody of DeKalb County now, but he apparently at the plea in Gwinnett provided information to the court that I expect will exonerate her on the Gwinnett charges. Well,
Okay.
he's also her co-defendant on the Cobb County misdemeanor case. And I anticipate on that case, because there was marijuana between the two, that he is going to exonerate her of that. The DeKalb case is the bigger issue. In DeKalb, that case is also still pending. In that case, she was working as a security guard in a business ultimately, and the allegation is that she entered a part of the business she should not have entered and took a laptop is essentially what that comes down. That's why it's charged as a burglary. Judge, my client's father is on. He's had custody of her, I guess, pretty much her whole life. I learned from them that I did not know initially is that she has had a prior mental health diagnosis. She has personality disorder. It's along the same lines as bipolar. She's been taking medication since she was a child, or at least supposed to. She has gone through this time frame where she stopped taking her medication, and she ended up hanging around some different people. At least 2 of the 3 cases are around involving the same person. And I believe, Judge, and I know the state's asking for custody, and I get the fact that there's a lot going on in a very short period of time, that the behavior is not about her being a bad person. I think the behavior is the fact that she just was not taking her medication. And I think her dad would say that. She is 3 months or 4 months pregnant. I guess she can tell you which. And she does have a 5-year-old special needs child that her dad is taking care of right now. He's on the line as well, and he wants to be heard.
All right. That was helpful background. I appreciate it. question. You mentioned that there was a gentleman who took the rap in Gwinnett and May also in Cobb, or the other way around. I think it was that way. Who is that? What's that person's name?
His name is Brandon. If I could switch over to my notes, Judge, that she knows his last name. What is his last name, Ms. McBurrows? Brandon what? Brandon
Harris.
Harris. Yeah, he's taken a plea before Judge Warren Davis in Gwinnett County on that shoplifting case.
Okay. Is he the father of the child that you are going to have?
No.
Okay. And Mr. Sexion, he's not
Incarcerated.
He's not in the picture in any way. Okay. All right. So that's helpful background, Mr. Booker. And since Ms. McBurrows is stipulating all the arrests, we don't need to have a back and forth about that a whole lot more other than whatever the state wants to present, which I'll hear. What are you advocating for, Mr. Booker?
Well, Judge, I know when I was last there, for the state was asking for her to go to prison. And I can say in some ways I can understand that. At that time, I did not know about the mental health diagnosis for personality disorder. Again, I think it's a bipolar type disorder. I know she's had depression, ADHD. She's been on medication for a fair period of time, and her dad can elaborate more on that. I think he's had custody of her since she was a young child. But I'm asking the court not to send her to prison, to return her to probation and put as a condition of her probation that she get a mental health plan in place where she is taking her medication. She's willing to do a HIPAA release for probation to have access to the fact that she's taking her medication. I'm not sure if she needs to do a mental health evaluation, but I don't think she's currently seeing a provider. She is 3 months pregnant, Judge. I get the fact that there is a punishment to be paid. Where you're on probation, it is a benefit to you. It could have been a case where she went in custody, but I'm asking the court she's been in custody about 60 days, I think, at this point, is to revoke her for that 78 days. Okay.
Yes.
For almost 90 days then. So she's between 78 and 90 days, 70 90 days. I'm asking the court to revoke her for the time that she has served and to reinstart her on probation. Again, she hasn't been convicted of any of this stuff. I think a lot of these cases will resolve themselves in time. But I do to get the fact in a very short period of time, she had a lot going on.
She did. And I think one of the cases you didn't mention was the Clayton case. That's the one that's super old. Any idea what's happening with that one? That's another shoplifting.
Thrown out. It got thrown out.
Oh,
Didn't know there
she's
was a
saying
Clayton
it got
case.
thrown out.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have that one on my list. I only had the DeKalb, Gwinnett, and Cobb.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Simpson. What'd you say? The Clayton County misdemeanor? Okay. All right.
And her dad's on, Judge, whenever you want to reach to him as well. His Terrence McBurrows, he's right there on the screen.
All right, Mr. McBurrows, was there something you wanted to add?
Dad, you got to turn your mic on.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Your Honor?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Like the attorney was saying, my daughter, she does supposed to be on meds and stuff, and she's been off them for quite a while. Not necessarily trying to use them as an excuse, for what occurred, but she's a great bright child of mine, and I just feel like she been around the wrong person. She have to make better choices, in life. And upon her release, she'll have somewhere to stay. She'll be moving in with me and my wife, and I'm taking care of her child right now while she's away. So I'm just trying to make sure she stay out of trouble, and hopefully, she can get back to getting things together with her health, with her mental health, and so far.
Okay. Well, she's fortunate to have you present in her life in that way. And I think we're all grateful that you stepped up to take care of her son while she's working through this. Where is your residence if she'd be staying with you? I don't mean street address, but is it in Decatur? Is it in Atlanta?
No, it's in Union City.
Okay. And you have space there where she could stay, her son could stay, and
Daughter.
Yes.
daughter.
Yes. Well, her daughter, yes. I have a daughter right here, right now, running around. Yeah, I do have space, an extra room for her.
Well, and there's going to be another one soon too.
Uh-huh.
Room for that one also?
We had to make me and my wife had to make arrangements to get a bigger space, but for now we do have room for her and her child.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for plugging in.
No problem.
Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I can appreciate counsel sharing with us some of the mental health challenges that this defendant is facing. Also,
All right, let's talk about that. This probation revocation hearing for Miss McBurrows was a blend of legal pragmatism, personal context, and a whole lot of family support on display. The state had originally prepared for an evidentiary hearing, ready to present witnesses to prove the violations. But with the defense stipulating to the arrests, the focus shifted entirely to what the consequences should be. And the list of new arrests while on probation was not short shoplifting in Clayton County, false information and marijuana in Cobb County, more shoplifting in Gwinnett County, and a burglary in DeKalb. That's a lot of trouble in a relatively short time. Defense attorney Mr. Booker didn't downplay the seriousness of it all, but he added a new layer the court hadn't fully considered before. McBurrows has a diagnosed personality disorder, similar to bipolar, and had stopped taking her medication during this stretch of arrests. He argued that the behavior was tied to her untreated mental health condition, not some deeper criminal intent. Booker also pointed out that some of the cases could be dismissed. One co-defendant had already taken a plea in Gwinnett and apparently exonerated her there, with similar potential outcomes in Cobb. The DeKalb burglary, however, remained the bigger issue. Booker's request? Revoke for time served about 78 to 90 days and return her to probation with a strict condition that she resume treatment and allow probation to monitor her medication compliance. The most compelling part of the hearing might have been her father's testimony. He's had custody of her for most of her life, is currently caring for her 5-year-old special needs child, and is prepared to house her and soon her new baby as she's now several months pregnant. His words painted a picture of a parent who knows his child's flaws, but also her capacity to get back on track if she's in the right environment. He was realistic about her need to make better choices, but unwavering in his willingness to provide structure and support. From the bench, the judge listened closely, asking pointed questions about the pending charges, the co-defendant's role, and living arrangements. He seemed to weigh both the state's likely request for custody and the defense's plea for a rehabilitative approach. While the outcome wasn't finalized in the portion of the record here, the direction was clear. This was a judge seriously considering whether time served plus treatment could achieve the goals of probation better than prison time. It was one of those hearings that reminds you how probation violations aren't always just about rule breaking, they can be windows into bigger life struggles. And when you've got a parent stepping up, an attorney presenting a plan, and a judge willing to weigh more than just the arrest record, you've got the elements for a fair shot at turning things around. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone.